Okay, doing one today on the Nomad radio. I guess he calls it the PNP RF keying circuit. This is a amplifier automatic keying circuit that is made to go in RF amplifiers that don't have a automatic keying circuit. You know, like ham amplifiers that you need a foot switch for, and you don't have a ham radio that will key the amp up automatically and you have to use a foot switch. For those type of amplifiers where you wanted to key up automatically, that, you know, when you have the drive power or the radio coming into the amplifier and you want the amplifier to key itself up, and the amplifier doesn't have that capability, this Nomad RF keying circuit, amplifier keyer, automatic keying circuit, sniffer, you know, be called many things many ways, but anyway, it's the ticket, right? So I got this mystery amp I've been playing with and working on. This is a ham amateur radio mystery amplifier. If you know what this amplifier is, kudos to you, or attaboy, you win a prize. You get an attaboy if you can figure out what this one is. This is a I wouldn't say super rare, but it's very hard to find mystery tube amplifier, and it just so happens that this amplifier is a ham amp, and it doesn't have a automatic keying circuit. So I wanted to add that capability to this amplifier. And since a while ago I bought a bunch of these Nomad keying circuits just for this purpose, I decided to put one in this one. He sells them on eBay for about 35 bucks. You know, it's been a while since I bought mine, which ain't cheap, but then again, hey, you get what you pay for. I've used about 10 of these over the last few years, and I have not had one fail. That's the keying circuit right there installed in the amplifier. It's a very small board, maybe an inch, you know, maybe. That's a tube socket right there. That's an octal socket to get a size. There are those some caps. And that's a 2-watt resistor that comes with the board, just so you can get a size. It's a small board. And to install this board, basically you need one wire that's gonna go to the cold side of the relay, and that's that blue wire there. And if you can see under there, that's marked out. That blue wire marked out is going to go to the cold side of the relay that you're going to key up. That resistor there, which does come with the keying circuit, the Nomad keying circuit, that's red, 2.2K or 2200 ohms, 2 watt. That goes to the input of the coax SO239 coming in, and it so happens, if you follow it, that's my SO239 coming in, and over this side you can see that's the coax in right there coming in. So when you have power coming in to the amplifier, you got your drive watts coming in, even though this is a low power amplifier, so it's going to run off a regular 4-watt or so radio. So my 4 watts coming in, when I'm ready to key the amplifier, you take it off standby, those 4 watts are going to go, some of them are going to trickle through that resistor there, that 2.2K resistor, and then go into the keying board. Why that resistor is not mounted on the board is because if you wanted to use this keying circuit on a more higher powered amplifier that takes more drive, like 3500Z or bigger amplifier that takes, let's say, 100 watts drive instead of 4-watt drive, you would use this included resistor here, yellow, violet, red, which is 4.7K. So he sends both of these resistors with the keying circuit, The 4.7K, I believe, is something like 30 watts up to 150 watts drive coming in. It'll key it up. So it's going to back down even more watts coming into that keying circuit than that 2.2K. Because that keying circuit is not going to handle the full watts coming in. So that resistor backs down the correct amount of watts when you put in the correct resistor, so the keying circuit can handle it and not blow it up, even though it's a rugged keying circuit. But again, this is a low drive amplifier, so I used the 2.2K, which is, I think, good from like 1 watt to 35 watts drive for that resistor. And if you're going to go over 35, from like 30 to 150 watt drive, you want to put that yellow violet, if you can see the colors, red, 4.7K in place of it. And actually, I think that's written here. Yeah, it's right under the resistor there. If I can get the camera in it. Use the 2200 ohm, that's the 2.2K or red one, 2 watt. And it says don't use wire wound resistors, because RF does not like wire wound resistors, period. It messes them up. It works like a choke. That's on any RF circuit. And with that 2.2K, it says you can go up to 50 watts into it. So I was wrong about the 35. And then that 4700 ohm, that 4.7K, that yellow violet red one. Yeah, right there, at 4.7K, which is included, you use for up to 150 watts pep. It's not going to be as sensitive as the 2.2K, but it'll take more power. But that's about it on the resistor. So anyway, very simple to hook up this keying circuit. If you know the cold side of the relay is one thing coming in, because on your relay, this is a schematic that Nomad sent with this also. And I got the red here. This is your relay coil right here for your relay. And that's a relay. But you got to know your coil. Your red coming into it is going to have your voltage. Normally somewhere around 13, 15, 18 volts DC on most amplifiers. However, you got to be careful of that. Some amplifiers, especially the older ones, they use like 110, 120 volts to key up the relay. And Heat Kits is one of the ones that's famous for using 110 volt relays to key it up. So this keying circuit won't work on those amplifiers that need more, that run on more than 35 volts for the relay. But anyway, if you have a relay like this one, this amplifier, the low voltage, the relays run on 18 volts. So my 18 volts comes into the relay here. You don't need to do anything with that. Just know that my positive 18 comes into the relay here. And then this side would be the ground side. When you use a foot switch on the amplifier, all the foot switch does is hook up a ground to this side. When you hook the foot switch up, the foot switch connects to ground, and the ground grounds this relay, and that makes it key up. But what a sniffer does, it puts the ground automatically. So this labeled out here, which is that blue wire out on the relay here, that goes to the cold side of the relay. Just one wire there. This hot wire coming into the relay, you don't mess with. Leave that alone. You need that there. That's wire, the one wire to the out. I used the blue wire, got it highlighted in green, the cold side of the relay. And then that resistor right here, R1, it goes to the amp in coax line, or the SL239, which is my resistor right there. So your resistor coming in there into the in, if I can zoom in and it don't blur up too much. No, camera want to go blurry on me, so okay. Let's see if I can back it up and then zoom in. No, camera still want to go a little bit blurry. But anyway, the resistor goes to in. That blue wire goes to out. And then if you see that one labeled ground, right? That's only needed if you don't ground the board itself. The key-in transistor on it has a tab sticking up. I can't get underneath it too good, but that screw and nut ground that key-in transistor. It's got a tab and it actually holds the relay mounted. So that's my ground on this. It's grounded through there, so I don't need to add a ground wire. If I had not mounted that ground and screwed to the transistor directly to the chassis, then I would need a ground wire going to ground on the board and straight to a ground point anywhere on the chassis, right? Also, it's got a tab marked SSB. I know it's all upside down. The SSB would be if you need the SSB delay, you would just take another wire and wire it to the SSB switch. And normally the SSB switch, when you turn it on, the other side of the switch would be grounded, and it would put a ground on that line coming in when you turn the SSB on, and that will activate that electrolytic capacitor right underneath there, which would put a delay on the unkeying of it, the SSB delay, because you know SSB, the RF goes up and down and in and out real quick, and the relays, you know, has a tendency to chatter and cut off on SSB if you don't have that delay in there. So if you're going to run SSB, you would want to run it a wire to that SSB switch, the ungrounded side, and the other side of the SSB switch would be grounded. That's it. That's all this relay needs. As you can see with mine, I used a resistor going to in, the blue wire going to out, screwed down that transistor, which holds the board and grounds the circuit. And I'm not using SSB on this amplifier, so, and this amplifier does not have a SSB switch, and I did not want to mod it and put in a SSB switch, so I didn't wire in the switch for SSB. And that's it as far as this relay. Let me put this amp in standby, and we should be good to go with it, hopefully. So we got the amplifier hooked up, going to a dummy load. This is a rather small, well, I say a medium modulator type amplifier. It is an amateur radio amplifier. I like it a lot, but it's mystery amp. We have it off right now, and on the left we just have the regular 4-watt CB going in, 20-watt scale on the left marked in, and 200-watt scale right there, going out the amplifier with the amplifier in standby. And we're gonna put the amplifier in operate and key her up. Notice this amplifier, it takes a second to zoom up or get the watts going up. I think that's my fault, whereas I put in a lot of oversized capacitor on the bias circuit, and it used resistance to bring down the bias once you key it up, so it takes a while to discharge those capacitors that I put in when you key it up to lower that bias voltage. So it takes a half a second or a second for it to build up the watts on this. But we got it keyed down now. We tried to adjust the watts because this one does have a bias adjustment. It's actually right there on the mystery amp. So it could dial in up and down. It could dead key anywhere from about 1 watt to about I think 75 watts max. But we tried to dial it in where it's doing 10 times more dead key than what it is going into a watt. So we got, you know, 20-watt scale, about 3 1/4 watts dead key on the 20-watt scale, and then over here on the 200-watt scale, Yeah, we got about 25 watts dead key. So not quite 10 to 1, but you look at the swing. They're both on average. Audio, that's the radio. On average, going into this amplifier. Audio, audio. Audio, audio. 3.5, swinging about 4.5. Or talking about 4.5. Here we go. About 28 watts. Audio, audio. Talking about 60 watts on average. And let's do a whistle. Whistling to about 6.5, give or take. Whistling to about 120 on average. That's the difference between a modulator amp and a regular amplifier, right? That's one of the reasons we like this amp a lot. This mystery amp is a regular amp would mirror that. You know, going in, you would see the same amount of swing and or lack of it, so to speak. Going out of it, it would just be bigger. But here, you can see that that's swinging a lot more than that one. So this modulator type amp puts a little swing in that thing. And last we're going to put this on peak. Audio, audio, audio. So with about 3.5 going in, swinging to about 4.5, 5 talking. This amp is keying 40 now because we had it down for a while, so the amps are creeping up and swinging, putting 200 in the corner on peak, right? Let me put this one on peak too, just to verify that this amp is not doing a whole lot of, this radio's not doing a whole lot of swinging. So 10 peak going in gets me 200 peak plus in the corner there. We like this mystery amp a lot. This is probably going to be a keeper for me. Probably not going to sell this and let somebody give me some unobtainium yellow table plus money. But we'll reveal this amp later. If anybody knows what this amp is, like I said, I give you a attaboy and a kudos if you know what this amateur radio mystery amp is. But anyway, we really wanted to do the Nomad keying circuit on this one. We'll go through the amp later. We added a sniffer or automatic keying circuit to this amplifier and basically bolted down, which would be your ground. That outline goes to the cold of the relay. The in line goes to the SL239. Since this is a low drive amp, I put in the 2.2K resistor. If it was a high drive amp, like a 3500Z or a bigger amp that takes 100 watts, I would have used the other 4.7K resistor. So anyway, I have had great results with the Nomad keying circuit. It works great. I've never had one blow ever, but then again, I never abused my stuff either. Alright, that's it for the Nomad RF keying circuit. Bye.